Thank you. I'll call to order the Thursday, November 4th, 2021 meeting of the Town North Andover Community Preservation Committee. Pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, this meeting will be conducted primarily in person and via remote means. Specific information and general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and/or parties with a right and/or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the town's website at www.northandoverma.gov. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to watch the meeting may do so on their televisions by tuning to Comcast Channel 8, Verizon Channel 26, or online at www.northandovercam.org. Every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we'll post to the town website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of the proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. If the public would like to participate in the public meeting, please email your questions or comments prior to or during the meeting to dbeckley@northandoverma.gov. The question or comment will be provided to the committee before the meeting or read during the proceedings if received during or shortly before the meeting. All right, with that out of the way, it gets a lot easier without having the masks on, as you guys know. First item on our agenda is approval of minutes from our last meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes of the
All right, motion made by Rick. Do I have a second?
Second.
We'll do a roll call vote. Jack?
I approve. Yay.
Tracy?
Aye.
Terry?
Aye.
Rick?
Aye.
CJ?
Abstain.
Tim?
Aye.
Bill? Aye. And yes, that is unanimous approval. Thank you, guys. Agenda item number 2, we are going to pass on tonight. Unfortunately, Ava from the North Andover Improvement Society was unable to attend. Hi, John. How are you? John Simons has now joined us. There is a seat. Yeah. So Ava's unable to make it. She had a last-second conflict, so we will have to reschedule for them at another time. I'm going to go slightly out of order here and take item number 4 regarding boards and commissions training. Did everyone receive the email from Lori?
Yes.
You know, I plan on participating myself. Anyone who would like to, we can reimburse the $15 cost out of administrative funds. So I would encourage any members to partake. It is about a 3-hour webinar coming up in a couple of weeks, but I'd recommend participating. So I plan to. All right. Any questions on that, or anyone not received the email or know what it's about? Many of you have probably already done it in the past anyway,
Yeah.
so okay. So it's old hat for a lot of you. I'll be doing it, so.
That might pass.
Okay, quite all right. All right, item number 3, regarding the long-anticipated sign design and materials which we plan on attaching to our application for the year. In everyone's meeting packet, you should see, and Dan, I don't know if you can share on your screen to everyone the sign materials that Rick put together.
Yeah, so there's 3 files in here. Why don't we start with the Glenny Woodlot sign, since it's beautiful and we've all been waiting to see it.
Great.
All right.
I think Glenny Woodlot was instantly getting use, just from the sign.
Oh, that's beautiful, it's right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah, so that sign,
Got that.
that sign came out nice.
It really did.
Oh, the
Thank you,
camp
Rick.
is down, by the way.
Oh, okay.
People watch.
All right,
All right.
so I put that sign in there just as an example of what that looks like. And if you do have the summary of the design options and estimated costs, that is the 3rd item down. That's a sign that's 28 inches by 36 inches. It's PVC and it's double-sided. That cost for that sign was $585, and the additional cost for the mounting brackets was $100, which I think we arrived at after I kind of gave you some really like expensive high-end models for the signs. But that is one option for this sign, for a hanging sign in recreation open areas. Again, that seems to fit nice over there. I think the longevity of that sign will be there for a while. So that's one option. Going back to the top of that sheet of the design costs is a larger sign, 44 1/4 inches by 26.75 inches. First option is a single-sided, and it's a ground-mounted sign. And I don't know, Dan, if you could pull up the, flip to the other package where it shows the signs, and I can kind of walk everybody through. Shows the Ranger Mills apartment. All right, so that is a similar sign to what's on your summary of sign costs for the second one listed, which is 44 1/4 by 26 3/4. So that sign, for the single-sided sign, is $1,200. If you wanted to go with a double-sided, and they go to what's called an HDU, which is high-density urethane. That's what the town gets on their town signs at the buildings. To go for a double-sided, it's an extra $1,200, so I don't know that that's such a great option. If you go back to the first one, it's the same sign, but that's digitally printed and laminated. It's 3/4 inch PVC. That's more reasonable, it's $700. And if you wanted to go for a double-sided sign on that, it's an additional $350. And then the 4-inch aluminum posts are $600. So there's 2 posts. If you went with a granite post, Dawn's does not usually provide those. What happens, at least with the town signs, is the town usually goes out with one of their annual
Yeah.
contractors, like Arco or FP Riley or somebody. They put the granite posts in, and then Dawn delivers the sign and they put it up. So it's a lot more work to put in the granite posts. Usually it's with a machine. So probably for those might be appropriate for like McAvoy Field or something like that, a large project. But I think, my opinion, the best bet for larger projects like a sample would be the first item with the aluminum posts. For a hanging sign, again, the third item on the list. And then there is another one. If you flip, Dan, to the one that's the Cabot Lodge.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so that picture right there shows you a hanging sign. But what Dawn did for it is basically the Glenny Woodlot sign would be a flat aluminum sign. And that sign could be used for buildings and mounted directly right to the building. That's only $250.
Yeah.
And mounting hardware, I threw in $15, but in reality, it's probably $5 or less.
Right.
So, my opinion would be to go with number 2 for a ground-mounted sign. I'm sorry, number 1 for a ground-mounted sign. The one we went with Glenny Woodlot for a hanging sign, and then the aluminum sign to put on a building.
I like
Or a
them all.
structure.
I think they're great.
I mean, if you wanted to get really elaborate, the last option on there is what we have at the town buildings, which is the double-sided, which is the HDU with the granite post, which is similar to the Ballardville United Church. But again, that's probably more for an elaborate project, like maybe the McAvoy project we did out there.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we did out there. So that's my recommendations. All of the costs came from Dawn. Those are estimated, but I think they're pretty good.
And would we, with these 3 options, each project, it would be, okay, we want option 1 for this project, option 2 for this project, option 3 for that project, depending on the projects? Is that what we're saying?
I would think we'd probably make the recommendation.
Right, that's what I mean. We'd make the recommendation out of these 3 options? Yeah, I think it's great.
But they would have it installed as part of the project, right?
Correct. I think what we're envisioning
Yeah,
here
okay.
is that this would be an addendum to the application with an understanding that, okay, this is going to be, a cost factored into whatever you're applying
Right.
for. So we'd understand that, make sure it's accounted for in their budget, and say, great, this project, the scope warrants sign option 3, and it becomes a part of the approval in the application and a part of the project. And then
Fantastic, perfect.
Then we're never chasing down signs
Perfect.
after this project won't be able to be
And
closed
it
out
always
until-
says the same thing, what is it we're gonna say on it?
Well, we have a sign model, and I didn't put it in the packet, but actually, they do.
We do. Well, at the very, very beginning of the
So
packet.
just property name or whatever it is.
Again, that's the kind of the
Okay.
language we settled on for Glenny Woodlot.
Yes.
And, which obviously could be amended for
Yeah.
a specific project, but
Great.
at least this addresses it. Okay?
Sounds
Do
good.
we need a motion to accept these three options?
I think so, because because it can become part of the application.
So moved.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
All right. Any discussion?
That's great.
All right, all those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Thank you so much for all the effort.
We'll,
in that.
we'll call that unanimous. Thank you very much. Rick, thank you for all your hard work on that. And hopefully now we've kind of put that to bed. Dan, you're clear on what needs to get attached to the application?
Yep, so I'll attach these to the applications and have them going out sometime next week
Great.
and get in touch with our typical applicants and things like that.
All right. Which is why we need to push this meeting up and have such a brief meeting, because we want to make sure we got in the application so we didn't delay anything any further. Otherwise, we could have pushed this off. But I appreciate seeing everyone's masked faces. So, that is our agenda for the evening. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion to adjourn? Seconded by Tim. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
All unanimous. Does that break a land?